of joy and light shining right beyond the prison walls. Then one day, someone hands us an escape plan that includes a layout of the prison and a step-by-step plan of escape, a flawless plan. What will we do? This is the escape plan that Michael Berg proposes in his book. And this escape plan is simple. It's not anything that requires you to understand any Hebrew dictates or mathematical formulas. So the first part of the God formula is 1, the world is the war of two opposite forces, light and darkness. We see this duality in everything that we do. We see it written into the very world and illusion that we live in. And at times it can be quite annoying, so simplistic, so ridiculous. Everything is dualistic. The sun and the night. Darkness and light. Happiness and sadness. Young and old. It's written into our very bodies, right and left. 2 eyes, 2 ears. This dualistic nature is built into this simulation. So we have to accept it. This is the world that we're in. It's a preschool. We're only dealing with 2 opposing forces, not 4, not 7, darkness and light. So the second element to the God formula is the source of light, better known as God, is the wellspring of all joy, fulfillment, and life. The force of darkness, better known as the ego nature, or the opponent, is the source of all pain, suffering, and death. All the positive things that we experience in our lives are manifestations of the light of the Creator. Ego is the state of total disconnection from God's light. Therefore, it brings complete darkness. We navigate between these 2 forces. When we are in the clutches of the desire to receive for the self alone, we veer ever closer to darkness. There, we feast on a steady diet of chaos and sickness and are finally sentenced to death. Everything is this battle between desire to receive for the self alone and the desire to receive for the self and others. How often do you desire to receive for the self alone? If so, it's built in to the very chemical components and atomic substructure of who you are. That's how you awaken. That's how you are meant to think. You're put into a computer that thinks that way by program. Receiving for the self alone. That is why you have been a prisoner here for so long. The way of escaping this prison is to let go of the ego. Now, understanding the ego is much more complex than what we begin to think of it. My concept of ego has transcended my initial concepts I had as a child or growing up, because ego is part of the word egotistical, and I believe that the ego is an entity, a part of us, a part of our personality